When a black billionaire meets a white billionaire, do you think there's any racism? Do you think they care? He's a billionaire, I'm a billionaire. Both our yachts are in Monaco. He's from Algeria, he stole all the gold. I'm a stock market whatever. There's no racism. The racism's for the poor people. Because if you keep the poor people divided, they can't wake up long enough to do what I did and read about how money works. Because if they do that, we got big trouble, right? Then the slaves will wake up. You don't want to deprogram the slaves. So you have to convince the slaves that it's not the monetary system's fault that you're broke. It's not the monetary system's fault that you continue to work for a set number of dollars and the price of houses just keep going up and up and up. It's not the monetary system's fault. It's the white man's fault, or the black man's fault, or the Asian people's fault. Someone else's fault. I think all this stuff, feminism, racism, all these things, I think they're all control mechanisms. They have to keep the poor people fighting amongst each other, because if the poor people all unite, then it's much harder to control us.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. Listen, we got a few. I'm gonna do this real quick because we have a few days left before Christmas, and we're almost to our goal. We're at 4,456 children that we are going to be able to give a Merry Christmas to, with a gift from their incarcerated parent, a special message from their incarcerated parent, and a Bible, so that they can understand the love of Christ during this season. But we're at 4,456 kids. Our goal is 4,500. And I have to also give a shout out to Mike Gallagher, my God. Mike Gallagher and his listeners are over 10,000 kids. They've been able to serve 10,000 kids, which is amazing. So between just me and Mike Gallagher, that's 14,000 kids, almost 15,000 kids being served through this campaign, which is absolutely incredible. But all you have to do is go to theofficertatum.com, theofficertatum.com. Click on the banner at the very top and give a generous donation. Got a bunch of people calling in. Let me answer a few calls. David from California, welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
Hey, Officer Tatum, great show. So, church needs to be in your life. If you disagree with church, you're brainwashed. As far as football, Deion Sanders, kick ass. Excuse my language. But yeah, he made the name for the NFL back then. What I called for the problem is the government is holding the blacks, and not just the blacks, but poor people down in general. They hand out all these carrots, but you never get the rabbit, because if you try to better yourself, they take it all away. And so, to me, that's almost like slavery. It's just in a different form. Hey, we got you under our thumb, and you ain't going to breathe unless we let you breathe. $800,000 for a homeless unit in L.A. Our money is just being wasted. The people are scamming us, taking everything that we work hard for, and we got to change this government. You right?
I agree, David. David, I thought I was going to disagree with you, man. I came to this call. I bet somebody on the back end. I said, I bet this guy going to call in and say X, Y, Z. But then you called in and you said probably one of the realest things that I've heard, and you are 1,000% correct. The government is, and I feel bad because people let the government play them for a fool. The government is scamming us. Like you said, they're giving people money. They're trying to bait people into reparations, and they're doing all of this stuff to dangle the carrot, to give you fish, but never teach you how to fish.
Exactly. A brother of mine passed away years ago, and we thought the same. And it's like, hey, if you want to better yourself, America will give that. But if you rely on the government, you're never going to get there.
100%. David, thank you so much for the call. Man, I thought it was a person that was going to call in and say, Shansay should have bet me. I thought it was going to be a person that call in and say, man, they always heard the black man, the government hold me down. And then I was going to say, how does government hold you down specifically? They're going to say, I don't know, somebody else. And that's normally how that conversation goes. But the government, is a culprit in holding poor people down. Unfortunately, a lot of black people are poor. Not most, but a lot of them. And they find a way to manipulate you because of a lack of education. Listen, I want you guys to hear me very clearly. If this is not for you, you can at least tell somebody else this. If you go to a bank or you go to buy a car and you're uninformed or misinformed about purchasing a vehicle, they will take advantage of you. They will sign you on deals that you don't understand. And they know that they know that you're uneducated about it as soon as you walk through the door. They'll have you paying all kind of stuff in interest rates. They'll put you in the car and you'll pay way more for that car than you're supposed to. And you don't know the difference because you're not educated on it. And they do the same thing in our government system. They pimp you and trick you into believing that you should be paying taxes way more than you should because they claim that you pay taxes that's going to help the homeless. No, it's not. You're lining the pockets of special interest groups. They don't bargain with people that ain't giving them money. All these organizations that are funded by the government, it's because somebody in the government got a vested interest in these companies. They don't care nothing about this company. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was a money laundering organization. People were doing that for favors. It's almost like they were holding people up. If you don't give me money, we're going to say you're a racist and we're going to come and have people burn your city down. That's what they were doing, in my opinion. They were extorting people. But that's what they do. The Ku Klux Klan was the military arm of the Democrat Party. Black Lives Matter was the military arm of the Democrat Party. You go out and you do something, they want to leverage power, all they got to do is make up that you're a racist. And they're going to have all the little mafias out there coming for you. Coming for you, burning your city, beating up your kids, doing all kind of crazy stuff. While the people at the top of Black Lives Matter going and buying themselves luxury homes in the white neighborhood. So don't let these people lie to you. That's why your education is important. If you know your history, you cannot be lied to about history. If you know how to count money, nobody can swindle you out of your money. If you know the process of retail and wholesale, nobody would ever sell you something for a price in which you don't understand. That's why you have to be informed. You have to be educated. And the way they hurt poor people is that they leave poor people uneducated. And the goons of our time miseducate poor people so they can stay in power and stay in charge. The black man today that sits on a pedestal tells you that the white man hates you and the white man holds you back while they take loans from the white man bank. And they become rich and you become poor and they tell you to hate the white man and they're partnering with the white man on a Nike deal. They partner with the white man at Black Lives Matter. They do all of this partnering with white people and telling you to never talk to a white man a day in your life. They are scumbags, and I hope that the Lord sees what they're doing and hold them accountable for the seeds that they've been planting.